All right, welcome to this deep dive. Today we're going to be unpacking, some pretty cool ideas about wealth creation and success. And all this comes from, you guessed it, Bob Proctor.
Yeah, Proctor.
We're going to be looking at a YouTube video. It's called How to Use the Money Frequency in 2024.
Okay.
And it's from the Proctor Gallagher Institute channel. Now, Bob Proctor, he had this really incredible journey. Like, he went from cleaning floors to running a global business.
Wow.
And get this, he had very little formal education.
That is pretty inspiring when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a self-made millionaire.
It really highlights how much mindset and belief can play a role when you want to achieve success. You don't always need a fancy degree or, come from a wealthy background to create wealth.
That's exactly right. And that's actually a key point in this video. Proctor talks about tapping into, he calls it the money frequency, but it's not like some mystical secret or anything. It's about, kind of making a conscious shift in how you think about money and how you relate to it.
You know, one thing that really stood out to me in the video was the story Proctor tells about his business partner, Sandy Gallagher. They were talking about how so many people are stuck in jobs they absolutely hate.
Yeah.
They just feel like they need someone else's permission to succeed.
And that goes right into Proctor's belief about entrepreneurship. He thinks that people should be in control of their own financial destiny, be in the driver's seat.
It makes you think, like, how much are we letting external factors kind of just dictate our finances? Like, Proctor's story is really saying we might have more control than we realize. It's about aligning your actions with your beliefs and sort of creating the right conditions for success.
Well, let's dive into that idea of aligning beliefs and actions.
Yeah.
Proctor actually talks about his own struggles with money early on and how Read and Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill totally changed his perspective. He even used this cool goal-setting technique where he wrote his target income, $125,000 on a card, and he carried it everywhere.
It's a great example of consciously influencing your subconscious, right?
Yeah.
By constantly seeing that number, he's essentially just, programming himself to focus on attracting that level of wealth.
And you know what? It worked.
Did it?
Within a year, he was making $175,000. Even more than his original goal.
That's awesome.
That's pretty powerful when you think about it.
Yeah, it just shows you, what can happen when you align those actions with your beliefs.
Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Proctor describes these three different income strategies, M1, M2, and M3.
Most people are familiar with M1, right? The classic time is money approach. It's the 9-to-5 scenario.
Work, you get paid.
Exactly. Yeah. And Proctor says that like 96% of the population
96%
wow.
operate this way.
Wow. But there's a catch, right? You only have so many hours in a day.
Right.
So there's a limit to how much you can actually earn. Yeah. And then you have M2, which is about investing your money to make more money.
Okay.
Proctor says only 3% of people actually utilize this strategy.
I guess it makes sense because not everyone, has the capital or knows how to invest effectively.
Right. But then there's this really intriguing M3 strategy, and this is how apparently the top 1% who earns a disproportionate share of the wealth operate.
This is the top 1%.
That's right.
So M3 is all about creating multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, multiplying your time through systems and investments that generate passive income.
Okay. So passive income meaning you're earning money even while you're sleeping.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a game changer.
It is. It really shifts the focus from, just trading your limited time to actually building something that works for you.
Wow.
Generating wealth, 24/7.
Proctor actually says that he stumbled upon this M3 strategy by accident.
Right.
He didn't even realize it at first. He was just taking inspired action and seeing what worked.
That speaks volumes, about being open to opportunities, trusting your gut. Sometimes the path to success isn't always a straight line.
Absolutely. But to understand how he got there, we got to rewind a bit.
Yeah, okay.
Proctor talks about listening to a recording by Earl Nightingale. It's called The Strangest Secret.
The Strangest Secret? What is that?
And this recording, had a big impact on him. He was trying to understand how he was becoming successful so quickly.
Okay, well, what was so strange about this secret?
Well, Nightingale defines success as the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Okay. And Proctor realized that even though his actions sometimes seemed impulsive, They were always in harmony with his desire for success. Like he was, subconsciously creating these multiple income streams without even realizing it.
So sometimes you're already on the right path even if you don't fully get it.
Exactly. Like the story Proctor tells about opening an office in Atlanta in just 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. He just had this vision, and he went for it, even though he didn't have a lot of, traditional business experience.
So it seems like he was really operating from this place of intuition and just, bold action rather than overthinking and planning every little detail.
And that is a key takeaway from Proctor's story.
Yeah.
He wasn't held back by conventional thinking or a lack of formal experience. Yeah. He was driven by a clear vision, and he took massive action.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really inspiring message, wouldn't you say? It really challenges the traditional idea of what it takes to be successful.
Totally. Now, to understand how all of this works on a deeper level,
right,
Proctor talks about the laws of compensation.
The laws of compensation.
These are basically the 3 factors that determine your income.
Okay.
And he learned these from a mentor.
Oh, so clearly, they made an impact on him. What are they?
So the first one is need.
Need.
Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Is there a demand for what you're offering? Are you solving a problem or fulfilling a need that people are actually willing to pay for?
Yeah, that makes sense.
When Proctor applies this to his company, the Proctor Gallagher Institute, they offer, personal development and wealth creation programs.
Okay.
And people all over the world, they want to improve their lives. They want to achieve financial success. So there's definitely a global need for that.
So need, check. Okay, what's the second one?
The second one is ability.
Ability.
Which refers to your skills and expertise. How good are you at what you do?
That makes sense.
And Proctor stresses the importance of constantly learning and developing your skills. The better you are at what you do, the more valuable you become.
Makes sense. Okay, and what's the third law?
The third law is difficulty of replacement.
Difficulty of replacement. So how hard is it to find someone else who can do what you do?
Right. The harder it is to replace you, the more leverage you have, right? You can command a higher compensation. It's about becoming indispensable.
Okay, so by combining these 3 elements, addressing a genuine need, mastering your skills, and becoming irreplaceable, you create this powerful formula for financial success.
It's a great framework for thinking about building, genuine value, both for yourself and the people you serve.
Okay, I like it.
Now, to understand how this money frequency concept works on even a deeper level, Proctor dives into the world of the conscious and subconscious mind.
Okay, this is where things get really interesting. I'm all ears.
He actually references the work of Dr. Thurman Fleet, who was a pioneer in holistic health.
Okay.
And Dr. Fleet, describes the mind as having 3 parts: the conscious, the subconscious, and the body.
Okay.
So the conscious mind is the thinking mind, the one that, makes decisions, analyzes information. It's the part of us that plans for the future, that sets goals.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about the subconscious mind?
Well, Proctor calls it the emotional mind.
The emotional mind.
It absorbs everything it's given without filtering. It forms beliefs and patterns that influence our behavior.
Okay, so that's where things can get a little tricky if we're not consciously feeding our subconscious mind with positive and empowering beliefs. We might end up sabotaging our own success.
Exactly. The subconscious can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So if we're constantly bombarded with negative messages about money or success, our subconscious starts to believe it as truth, even if it's not.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to, be mindful of the information we consume and the thoughts we're dwelling on. We really want to cultivate a positive internal dialogue that supports our financial goals.
That's a great point. And then Proctor goes on to introduce this concept of paradigms.
Paradigms, okay.
And they're essentially mental programs that control our habitual behavior. They're like deeply ingrained beliefs and patterns that shape how we see the world.
Okay, so our paradigms they're kind of formed in our childhood based on, how we grew up, our experiences and the influences around us. So even if we learn things later on that contradict our paradigms, those old patterns can still hold us back.
It's like running outdated software that's not serving you anymore. You might have all the knowledge and skills to succeed, but your ingrained habits and beliefs can actually prevent you from taking the necessary action.
So Proctor's saying that his success wasn't about becoming, smarter or more capable. It was about shifting his paradigm, like changing those fundamental beliefs about money and success.
And that's such an important point because it means that anyone, regardless of their background or their education, can achieve financial success just by changing their internal programming.
Okay.
It's about challenging those limiting beliefs
Yeah.
and replacing them with empowering ones.
So to do that, Proctor emphasizes the power of our higher faculties, those things that distinguish us from animals, our ability to consciously choose our desires and then act on them.
So he breaks it down into a three-step process. First, you identify what you truly want using your conscious mind.
So this is where you set clear intentions, define your goals.
Yeah. And then you impress those wants onto your subconscious mind, turning them into deep-seated desires. And that's where things like visualization and affirmations can be powerful.
So by consistently, feeding your subconscious mind with the image of your desired outcome, you begin to believe it's actually possible.
And then finally, you take action. Fueled by that burning desire, you take steps to achieve those results. It's about aligning your actions with your beliefs and making consistent progress towards your goals.
Makes sense.
Now, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave you with this thought. If you could achieve anything without limitations, what would you dedicate your life to?
That's a great question to ponder. It prompts us to really consider our deepest desires and explore, what truly aligns with our values and aspirations.
We'll delve deeper into Proctor's insights in the next part of our deep dive. But until then, keep exploring your own money frequency.
So picking up where we left off, it's clear Proctor really believes our mindset plays a huge role in attracting wealth. But how do we actually shift our thinking to align with that money frequency?
Well, he brings up this fascinating concept, the power of imagination.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How does imagination fit into all of this?
Proctor explains that the subconscious mind, that powerful engine that drives so many of our actions, it can't actually distinguish between real and imagined experiences.
So if we vividly imagine ourselves achieving our financial goals, our subconscious mind starts to accept it as a reality.
Exactly. Proctor believes that by consistently feeding our subconscious mind with those positive images of wealth, of success, we can actually reprogram our beliefs and start attracting those outcomes into our lives.
It's like planting seeds in fertile ground. If we sow seeds of prosperity in our minds, we're more likely to reap the rewards in our physical reality.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
And to illustrate this point, Proctor shares a personal anecdote about his early days as a janitor.
Oh, I love a good story. Tell me more.
Remember how Proctor started out cleaning floors?
Uh-huh.
Well, while he was doing that, he was actively visualizing himself running a successful business.
Yeah.
He even went so far as to act as if the business was already thriving.
So even though he was, physically scrubbing floors, his mind was already operating on a different frequency, envisioning that future of abundance and success.
Yeah, he was embodying the role of a successful entrepreneur even before he had, all the external trappings of success.
Right. It's a powerful reminder that our external reality often lags behind our internal state. If we can shift our mindset first and align our actions with our vision, the external world will eventually catch up.
And it's not just about daydreaming or wishful thinking. Proctor emphasizes taking concrete steps towards our goals, even if those steps, seem small or insignificant at first. It's about bridging the gap between, imagination and action.
So it's a combination of both, having a clear vision and taking consistent action to manifest that vision into reality.
Exactly. Proctor believes that when we combine a powerful imagination with purposeful action, we tap into a force far greater than ourselves. A force that can really propel us towards extraordinary success.
That force sounds a lot like what he calls, the money frequency. It's about aligning our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions with the energy of abundance.
You got it. And remember, Proctor wasn't some, privileged kid who had it easy. He started with very little, faced tons of setbacks, and yet he achieved incredible things.
His story really embodies the idea that our potential is limitless. Regardless of our background or our circumstances, if we can tap into the right mindset and take consistent action, we can create a life of prosperity and fulfillment.
And it's not just about material wealth either. Proctor emphasizes that true success encompasses all areas of life: health, relationships, spiritual growth, and of course, financial abundance.
It's about living a life that's aligned with our values and our purpose, creating a positive impact on the world while also enjoying financial freedom.
Now, to really break down how this concept of money frequency works, Proctor dives into the world of energy and vibration.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. I'm all ears.
Proctor believes that everything in the universe is energy. constantly vibrating at different frequencies.
So even seemingly solid objects like a chair or a table are ultimately made up of vibrating energy.
Exactly. And our thoughts and emotions, they also have their own unique vibrations.
So if we're feeling, positive and optimistic, we're emitting a higher frequency vibration. And if we're feeling, negative and fearful, our vibration is lower.
You got it. And according to Proctor, the key to attracting wealth and success is to align our vibration with the frequency of money.
Okay, so it's not just about wanting money or taking action. It's about cultivating an internal state that resonates with the energy of abundance.
Exactly. Proctor believes that when we raise our vibration to match the frequency of money, we naturally attract opportunities, resources, and people that support our financial goals.
It's almost like tuning a radio to a specific station. If we want to receive the money frequency, we need to adjust our internal dial accordingly.
That's a great analogy.
Mm.
And Proctor suggests that we can do this through techniques like, visualization, affirmations, gratitude practices, surrounding ourselves with positive influences.
So it's about creating an environment that supports our desired vibration, both internally and externally.
Exactly. And this brings us back to the importance of our subconscious mind. Remember how Proctor explained that the subconscious can't distinguish between real and imagined experiences?
Right.
Right.
So if we're consistently feeding our subconscious with images of wealth and success while also raising our vibration through these positive practices, we're creating this powerful internal alignment that can actually manifest our desires into reality.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And this is where Proctor's teachings really deviate from, traditional financial advice. He's not just talking about, budgeting, saving, or investing. He's emphasizing cultivating an internal state that naturally attracts abundance.
Yeah, it's about shifting our focus from chasing money to becoming a magnet for it, creating a life that's, so aligned with our purpose and values that financial abundance flows effortlessly as a natural byproduct.
Now, I know this might sound a bit woo-woo to some people, but, think about it. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to attract success effortlessly, while others, they struggle despite their best efforts?
Yeah, it's like some people have this invisible force working in their favor while others are constantly battling against the current.
Proctor believes that this difference, often comes down to their money frequency. It's about their underlying beliefs, their emotional state, and their overall vibration.
So even if two people have, the same level of education, the same skills, the same work ethic, the one who's vibrating at a higher frequency is more likely to attract success.
Exactly. And Proctor suggests that we can all raise our money frequency, through conscious effort and practice. It's about becoming aware of our limiting beliefs, replacing them with empowering ones, and consistently aligning our actions with our vision.
It's a fascinating concept, really challenges, those conventional notions of wealth creation, suggests that our internal state plays a far greater role in our financial success than we might realize.
Now, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave you with this thought. What if your current financial reality is simply a reflection of your dominant vibration?
Yeah, it really is. Like, it makes you look at your own situation and think, am I vibrating at the right frequency?
It does, doesn't it? So if our current financial situation, is a reflection of that vibration,
Right.
how do we shift that vibration to attract more abundance?
Well, Proctor offers some pretty practical advice. He talks a lot about gratitude.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
It seems so simple, yet we often forget about it. How does he actually connect gratitude to financial success?
Well, he believes that, when we focus on what we're already grateful for,
Okay.
it shifts our energy from a place of lack to a place of abundance. So it's about appreciating what we have, which, in turn kind of opens us up to receiving even more.
So it's like sending a signal to the universe that, hey, we're ready for more good things to come our way.
Exactly. And it ties in really well with another key practice that Proctor talks about, visualization.
Right. We touched on that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But he goes even deeper into how to use visualization effectively.
Yeah.
What are some of his key insights there?
Well, he recommends, creating a clear and detailed mental picture of what you want to achieve and engage in all of your senses.
All
So,
right.
it's not just about seeing it, but feeling it, hearing it, smelling it.
So it's about really immersing yourself in that experience of already having achieved the goal as if it's happening right now.
Right. And Proctor also suggests incorporating affirmations into that visualization practice.
Okay. Affirmations, those are those positive statements that kind of like reinforce our desired beliefs.
Exactly.
Okay.
So instead of saying, I'm broke, you might say, I am a money magnet attracting wealth and abundance into my life.
Okay. I can see how that would be powerful if you really believed it.
Exactly. And it might feel a little awkward at first, but the key is to repeat those affirmations with conviction, really believing in them.
It's about retraining your subconscious mind to see yourself as worthy and capable of achieving financial success.
Mm.
Okay. Now, here's a point that Proctor makes that I find really interesting. He talks about the importance of, acting as if, like, you've already achieved your goal even before you see the tangible results.
Right. So it's about embodying the identity of the person you want to become, not just wishing for it.
Exactly. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, start dressing like one, speaking like one, acting like one.
Yeah, it's about sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind, to the universe, that you're serious about these goals. You're already aligning yourself with that energy of success.
Now, Proctor acknowledges that, changing our vibration and aligning with the money frequency, it takes effort, it takes practice. It's not a one-time fix.
Yeah, it's a journey.
It's an ongoing journey.
It's about cultivating a new way of being, a new relationship with money and abundance.
And he's adamant that we all have that power within us. It doesn't matter where we come from, what our past experiences have been, we can choose to rewrite our story and create a future that is filled with prosperity and fulfillment.
Yeah, it's a really powerful message of hope and empowerment. Reminds us that we're not victims of our circumstances. We have the agency to create the life we desire.
Well, as we wrap up this deep dive into Bob Proctor's money frequency, I want to leave you with this final thought. What if the key to unlocking your financial potential isn't about, working harder or working smarter, but about aligning your energy with that infinite source of abundance that already exists within you?
Beautiful thought. It's an invitation to really explore the power of our own minds and tap into the limitless possibilities that await us when we shift our vibration and embrace that money frequency.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring. And until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep believing in your own extraordinary potential.